right, well, welcome back to the second part of our series where we break down Patrick Mahomes' 5 touchdown passes in an amazing comeback over the Houston Texans in the divisional round. And today we'll be going over the second touchdown pass, Travis Kelce's first touchdown catch of the day on a 5-yard play for the score. First thing we'll do is, again, watch that entire play unfold and then kind of rewind it and go over it in slow motion, breaking down the formation and the routes and the coverage going on. It's a 3-bunch wide receiver formation to the right side of the field. Kelce scores from about a yard out after the catch, and we'll break down what's going on here. Originally, I actually think that the route is intended for Damian Williams here, but there is a breakdown in the routes that kind of cause a problem with the overall play. And it's a good example here of how Tyreek Hill is used as a decoy or used various amounts to not just as a wide receiver, but used to block, used to as a decoy, used for a bunch of different reasons, and why, even though he may not be getting all the catches, he's still making a pretty large impact on the game. So the first thing we need to do is, once again, go over the coverage that the Houston Texans are in. And we look and see that it's really not too different from the last one we looked at in the last video. Again, the Houston Texans are in a cover 1, which means you have one player playing the back zone here, and everybody else is in man. You have a linebacker or a DB on Travis Kelce to one side, a DB on Tyreek Hill, DB over here, and over here on Watkins and Robinson, respectively. Now, again, depending on what Damian Williams, because he is a very big receiving threat out of the backfield, which way he goes depends on which linebacker will be blitzing and which will be in coverage. In the last video, we talked about how there is a spot in the zone that typically one of those linebackers will be filling, but because it's so close to the goal line, there's no reason for that with the safety in the back. So one of them is going to be blitzing, one of them is going to be covering Damian Williams out of the backfield, depending whether he goes to the right or to the left. And we know from watching the video previously that Damian Williams does go to the right here, and it's actually kind of a sneaky little route where he'll drift off and sneak between the right guard and right tackle as they're dropping back into their pass protections, since there is a large gap here. From the drawing here, it looks like he's just running behind them, but when the ball is hiked, they will both kind of drift backwards, and he will sneak between the two, kind of running a little drag route underneath. We have, and from the best of my ability, these are the routes that I kind of assume that are being made. You have Hill running a slant, Robinson running a slant, and Travis Kelce running a drag route across the field here. And then Watkins running kind of a hook or a curl here, just coming back in towards the ball. I think that's what he's doing. It's kind of hard to tell. There's a little bit of a complication on the routes, which we'll get into here in a minute once we see those live. But these are the routes that I believe that they were all supposed to run, and we'll see how it matches up with that coverage as well. So looking at the coverage here, we know Williams is coming out of the right here, so that means the left linebacker will be blitzing. The one on the left-hand side here for the defense will be in coverage on him. You've got the zone coverage being covered in the back. A one person on Travis Kelce. It looks like they thought they learned their lesson last time. As noted before, Kelce had 2 or 3 players on top of him immediately. Right now, it's just a one-on-one matchup. And then you have 2 more DBs, well, really 3 if you include the one face-up on Watkins here, each on their man. I'll take one to go that way, one going across. And really, the entire goal and concept of this matchup is to get them kind of moving across and moving away from where the play is supposed to go. If you watch a lot of Andy Reid plays, you'll notice that many wide receivers will pull one way and pull the coverage to the left or the right side of the field, allowing for secondary targets to open up underneath and allowing for a lot of confusion and congestion between the defensive backs. The reason why I think this is going to Williams is if you look at here, you can see Tyreek Hill running an interference on really 2 different DBs. You have the one that's going to be drifting down to cover Williams first, and then the one that's going to be getting to Kelce. So I think Williams is the first look. Kelce is the second look in this. You also should actually have Demarcus Robinson possibly as the second or the first look as well. Watkins should be taking his man this way and kind of curling and blocking and interfering with the other defensive back that has to cut behind both of the defensive back and Sammy Watkins as well. Now, that's not exactly what goes according to plan. Again, your options will be 1, 2, and 3, just depending on where the DBs are crossing at the time and who's open. You really should be getting almost 3 good open looks if that's what happens. And really, that's not what happens at all. This play doesn't necessarily go 100% according to plan. And the first reason we'll see here is if I pause it right here, you can see why. They're playing press on Sammy Watkins, and he's not able to get out of the way of Demarcus Robinson, who also kind of extends his route up a little bit, causing a problem here. So really you have a wide open DB there that should be on Robinson, but is not really too concerned. You have your linebacker that's now spying Damian Williams coming out of the backfield, and a deep safety here, kind of keeping his eye on Kelce and where Hill will be going to, and then your other linebacker dropping into pass rush. As we watch that unfold a little bit, we notice here that first pseudo pick where Hill will kind of get in the way and then jump out at that last second so that he doesn't draw a flag. He had to alter his route slightly to kind of get in the way. But again, because he doesn't make contact, there's no flag here. But the linebacker doesn't bite on it and continues to track Williams as it goes. So no flag, but also Williams is covered. Robinson should be open, but unfortunately, because there was so much traffic, because the feet got tangled, because Watkins couldn't get off of his man from 5 yards out, he's covered as well if Mahomes is to throw the ball there. Technically, Tyreek Hill's open too, but that safety and the DB here are all kind of converging and would probably be lights out for Tyreek Hill. So the last and final option will be Travis Kelce here. Again, we'll see Tyreek Hill jump in and out of the way at the last second, and it kind of works, opening up Travis Kelce a slight window, a slight advantage as Mahomes rolls to his right, and Travis Kelce is able to dive into the end zone for a touchdown. And really, that kind of explains how Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes work together. The routes that should open up taking advantage of the speed of Kansas City, but when things go awry and things fail, the Chiefs don't have to fold because Patrick Mahomes can make those tight window throws. It also shows that Travis Kelce has the ability to make plays on his own as one of the best, if not the best, tight ends in the NFL.